Coming up, a care recipient in China volunteers to reciprocate Tzu Chi's assistance to his ill wife. The young people in Taiwan make the best use of the internet to do good deeds. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In China's Jiangsu province, Tzu Chi recently held its 2016 Winter Aid distribution at the Tzu Chi Suzhou grounds. Among the volunteers helping out at the venue is a care recipient Zhao Guoping, whose wife suffers from leukemia. Since Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care have brought hope to his family, Zhao is taking action to reciprocate their kindness.
At the Tzu Chi Suzhou grounds, Zhao Guoping dons the yellow volunteer vest to help out in the morning. Later on, he also joins the line of recipients waiting for Tzu Chi's supply distribution. Coming from Changzhou, Zhao receives aid from Tzu Chi, who has also been helping his wife fight against leukemia.
My family, which was in despair, gradually saw hope as the volunteers consoled my wife.
You must keep smiling and wish yourself well. Having hope for yourself is very important.
With inspiring stories, the volunteers bring Miss Zhao warmth, despite being separated by the cold glass.
She has suffered for more than 20 years. Look, she can stand on her feet now. She has even started working. This girl's name is Chen Tuanzhi.
It's great. Mother laughs along when you laugh, so we need to stay positive every day.
Besides Ms. Zhao, her son Zhao Chengxiao has also received Tzu Chi's help in the form of a scholarship.
I hope he'll stay strong and optimistic in the future.
Zhao's family has become a part of the big family of Tzu Chi. With gratitude in their hearts, they are eager to reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness and pay the love forward.
In Serbia, Tzu Chi volunteers from different countries have taken turns to provide refugees with winter jackets, ready-to-eat food, and instant rice for more than a month. Their efforts have warmed the hearts of refugees and left a deep impression in members of Commission for Refugee and Migration. On April 2nd, the volunteers helped provide dinner to refugees at the refugee center in Principovac for the last time. In Serbia, from March 1st to April 2nd, a total of 88 Tzu Chi volunteers from 15 countries have taken turns to provide winter jackets, ready-to-eat food, or instant rice to the refugees.
Since Tzu Chi came to deliver aid a month ago, things have changed. I've seen how Tzu Chi volunteers brought joy and happiness to these traumatized refugees.
As the volunteers organize what is left in the storage before they depart, Essen from Afghanistan hurries to finish translating a Tzu Chi song.
And there are other Afghans or Iranians, they speak Farsi, they don't know. It's a good song. It makes us relax. It gave us feel hope. And because of that, I really liked it. And I wanted to put Persian subtitle that the others can understand what the song say.
Hello. Thank you. Then the volunteers help provide dinner here for the last time. They have already bonded with the refugees like a big family. Feeling for the refugees who have been through treacherous journeys, the volunteers hope Jingsi aphorisms can continue to give them spiritual support. Despite the language barrier, the refugees bid farewell to Tzu Chi volunteers with their utmost sincerity and best wishes. In Serbia, among the refugees who are currently stranded there, many are children. One of them is 13-year-old Kais, who now believes that there's still hope for a better future, thanks to the encouragement of Tzu Chi volunteers.
3 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. So,
I went to Lebanon.
okay.
Then I went to Yemen. Then I went here, Germany.
To Germany?
Yes. We
Okay.
want just to go to the best place that can be for us. I have dreamed to be famous, to be rich, to be rapper,
Okay.
to tell our stories to the world. نحن ناقصنا حياة، ناقصنا مدرسة.
We do not have a life. I cannot go to school, and we have no house or hope.
ما فيني أقول غير إنه بدي بس العالم يعرف.
We are children. I just want the world to know we are not different from other people. They treat us like we are from another world or another planet. But we once had our house, our school, our life, and dreams.
Despite having been on a harrowing journey, the refugees have rekindled their hope since their encounter with angels clad in blue and white uniform.
بالنسبة لهي الجمعية أنا بشكرهم كلهم من قلبي.
I am grateful to your organization. No other organizations treat Kai Sinjori with respect like you. No other groups can cheer them up like you. I truly thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Perhaps the refugees were meant to stay in Serbia temporarily, where they learn that the world is still beautiful and full of kind-hearted people under the blue sky.
In China, Tzu Chi volunteers in Hebei recently visited the Yi County Middle School and the Yi County Vocational High School to distribute scholarships. This time, students were invited to take the stage and talk about their love of the earth.
2 times a year, these students receive red envelopes with money to help their studies. These volunteers act like proud parents as they have the opportunity to interact with students and encourage them in their studies. Sitting down, these Tzu Chi volunteers teach Jingsi aphorisms to these students and teach them how to proceed with their life. In Hebei, Tzu Chi spends the day visiting with students, first arriving at Yi County Middle School and then Yi County Vocational High School. One of the topics that interested the students the most was environmental issues.
We should take action, even though we are just students. We can do things like turn off the lights, which can reduce electricity and cause less pollution. We are students, though we can plant a tree or a flower and protect the environment. We can do things to promote environmental protection and care.
As these students mature and eventually graduate each year, Tzu Chi volunteers are happy to have the opportunity to interact with them and encourage their development. They also take the time to cherish their time together and share the happiness and joy of student life.
The advent of the internet, combined with smart devices, is changing how people live their life and interact with one another. We now show you how the younger generations in Taiwan put such inventions to good use by rolling people to contribute to a good cause.
Usually I use Line a lot and play some games. I also look at posts made by others on Facebook and Instagram. When we were young, the internet wasn't so easily accessible by everyone. But now pretty much everyone has a smartphone. So really, it has become an integral part of our life.
送吗？是这家？对啊。好嘞。
有没有订红茶？谢谢。然后如果你想要参加，你也可以在社团里面跟大家讲，就说大家有没有想要一起去，然后我们就可以跟你去啊。
很棒哎。
是哦。
Nowadays, people rely on the internet to live their life. No longer do people stay informed by watching TV, as all information is readily available online. You can easily get a glance of all the activities you can participate in. The convenience can easily attract a lot of young people.
网络号召，因为大家都在同一
You
个
can assemble people very quickly by the internet. Just post your activity online, and since you're already in a group, everyone will respond very quickly. You don't have to worry about no one showing up.
宜轩，我在那个3跟36官网看到一个食物森林讲座的志工，还蛮有趣的。社群力量其实非常强大，那我们就是可以把这些活动。
Social media is very powerful. We can post our activities on our own page or broadcast it. Also, we can join other groups sharing similar idea to promote our activities. That way, more people sharing the same common interests will be made aware and therefore will come participate.
上面就是会有品名，就是大家也要看它就是属于 A03002450。
你拿你的，他去拿8宝粥，现在也是4个。
We post our event right on our company webpage and extend the invitation to everybody. As it is quite meaningful, I decided to sign up and participate.
我们很多都是透过打电
Before,
话
we used to call people and ask if they want to volunteer. However, the participation was low. With the advent of the internet, the number of our volunteers has increased, while their average age has decreased.
是600。
听他们的简介。
After hearing the introduction, I now realize there are many people in need. Though this is tiring, it is worth it.
好。想要帮助更多。
I just want to help those who are poor. And yes, I did indeed influence those around me. In fact, I got them all to join me, mainly my classmates and members from my club.
In Selangor, Malaysia, Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Volunteers, or Tzu Chis, have invited their counterparts from the University of Malaysia and HELP University for a day on Kitam Island. However, it wasn't a day of fun and games, but rather something more meaningful. Here's more.
A boat ride from Port Klang to Pulau Ketam takes 40 minutes. On this day, Tzu Chi Collegiate Youth Volunteers in Selangor have invited their counterparts from the University of Malaysia and HELP University for a day of meaningful activities on the island. There are no cars on the island, but only bicycles and scooters. Thus, all recyclables have to be wrapped in fishing net and hand-carried to a boat, so they may be sold on the mainland.
The recyclables here have to be loaded onto a boat. When we do this on the mainland, we never had to do this.
This group of some 80 volunteers helps load the recyclables while learning something they can't experience in the classroom.
Some Tzu Chi volunteers are already quite old, but they don't complain about the strenuous manual labor. As a young person, I think we should do what we can. Since the volunteers are already doing this, I should be able to do it too.
To everybody, they should be able to recycle and reuse their materials, unlike just throwing them around, because that way we'll be able to help other people and also keep a safe environment for ourselves.
Not everyone here knows each other, but they have banded together for the environment.
At first, we may not know each other, and now we are all friends suddenly, and are working as one. Like when we were carrying the stuff earlier, we all gave our best effort. We gave it our all and sweated together.
The 5-hour work today is but only a beginning for these young people. May they take the lesson home and start living green in their daily lives. Only by having everyone making an effort can the environment be protected.
To lessen the burden on the environment, Tzu Chi has been asking the public to bring their own reusable tableware instead, and has come out with several ingeniously designed products for people to choose from. In today's Tzu Chi's 50th anniversary series, we look into why disposable tableware is so widely used in Taiwan, and how Tzu Chi's environmental campaign has been faring.
老板，一个蔬菜三明治，帮我装我自己的袋子，谢谢。老板，请帮我放进我自己的袋子就好，谢谢。不用用纸杯，帮我装进来我自己的杯子，谢谢你。
Committed to not using a plastic bag and disposable tableware, Xu Huiting insists on living green.
这个袋子是我从东非的肯亚带回来的。
I got this bag from Kenya in East Africa. The local environmental organization asked local women to weave this bag using clean recycled plastic bags.
The unique reusable bag is filled with a lot of love for planet Earth.
我每天都会带着的有像餐具、不锈钢吸管、可以折叠的细胶便当盒，然后我还有杯子跟购物袋。
As she uses a cotton bag to hold her bread, she always shies away from breads with toppings, no matter how alluring they may be. This bag she uses to hold her sandwich was bought in England. Even the breakfast stand she frequents knows that she doesn't use plastic bags.
Few people are actually eco-conscious, though we don't want to provide customers with disposable tableware. Some of them just can't accept it as they think it's unsanitary otherwise.
If healthy and sanitary are people's top concerns, then they should bring their own tableware. However, are they willing to go through the trouble?
You know to bring your Easy Card, purse, and phone when you head out every day, right? So once it becomes a habit, you won't think it's inconvenient.
Though disposable tableware is very convenient, it is catastrophic on the environment. Just how did it all begin?
A night market is basically a stand on the street, so not everyone has access to running water. Before, you had to borrow water from others, unlike now. So back then, a stand would only have 3 buckets worth of water for a whole night.
Back then, I believe the hepatitis B epidemic was quite serious, and people blamed unclean tableware for the spread of the disease. So the government encouraged the use of disposable tableware.
Quickly, disposable tableware made of styrofoam overtook Taiwan like a storm. According to the Environmental Protection Administration, 3.5 billion pairs of disposable chopsticks are imported per year, while 1.5 billion disposable cups are used a year. To lessen the burden on the environment, Ningxia Night Market began making reusable tableware available 8 years ago.
Originally, we'd spend some 10,000 US a month on waste processing. Now, after a decade of hard work, the cost is down to about 6,000 US.
Every stand now has a double basin sink, and in compliance with the new regulation, the Night Market Association has even purchased a high-temperature commercial dishwasher. In 2002, EPA began banning the use of plastic goods in both private and public sectors. First, neither plastic bags or disposable tableware was to be provided. But by 2006, all dining patrons could no longer access plastic tableware. Still, the best solution for both the environment and our health is for everyone to carry their own tableware.
When the chopstick goes up, when it reaches this green part here, it will lock in place.
The retractable chopsticks do not have springs inside. It took them 5 years to come up with a mechanism which works off of gravity. When made available in 2007, the chopsticks became an instant hit and even snatched a gold at that year's Taipei Invention Show.
I didn't even get a pair myself. My daughter and son had to go buy them from the local Tzu Chi office.
A reusable cup, bowl, and chopsticks are the 3 jewels to Tzu Chi volunteers. In the early days, Sen was responsible for designing all of them. As such concept had not yet caught on in 1990. It took Sen 2 years to design his first pair of chopsticks.
I said to Master Zheng Yan, "Master, the chopsticks are really hard to make. Let's just forget about them. The disposable ones are really cheap." The master replied, "This is why you are asked to do this."
We should really shy away from using disposable tableware. In fact, Master Zheng Yan has been promoting this idea for a very long time. It's just that back then, reusable tableware wasn't readily available, and people didn't embrace such advanced thinking.
Since chopsticks took more than simply innovation, Just getting the locking mechanism to work properly took numerous trials and sample making. The chopsticks are made of medical-grade plastic imported from Japan and can withstand heat up to 150 degrees Celsius. The tips have also been specially designed to easily hold on to food. In early days, due to circumstances, Tzu Chi did use disposable tableware when carrying out disaster relief.
But Master Zhenyan opposed the idea. She said, I asked you to be eco-friendly. Why are you handing out lunch boxes in paper containers? So we began making our own lunch boxes.
Now, when handing out lunch boxes in a disaster relief, Tzu Chi volunteers will collect and wash used containers and then give them to the recipients on the final meal service. These reusable containers all hold deep meanings.
熊林医院他喜欢圆满所以他这每一个地方他都要有圆弧。
The circular design of the bowl symbolizes wholesomeness and unity. The three protruding points make the bowl more accessible when stacked against one another. Thanks to an ordinary inventor, Tzu Chi's reusable tableware is ahead of its time and holds deep meanings. Environmental protection will only be effective with concrete actions, which can be easily done by using reusable tableware.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers recently mobilized to distribute school supplies to the indigenous Paitan village, some 200 kilometers from Sandakan in Sabah. The volunteer team included Tima doctors from Kuala Lumpur, businessmen, and even indigenous children. It was truly a group effort to host the distribution as well as a free clinic.
Before dawn, some 72 volunteers from throughout Malaysia prepare for their upcoming trip. Amongst this group are 14 indigenous youth in T-shirts, 6 of which had been the beneficiaries of Tzu Chi's support. Today, they are preparing to repay this kindness by assisting in this distribution.
Today will be very hot, so please remember to bring your own water. Remember to drink water and look after your health.
A 4-hour trip culminates in the arrival at this Paitan village. Volunteers quickly get to work as some 300 indigenous children are eager to receive school supplies.
I want to thank you for supporting our children with school supplies. I'm happy to be here, and the tears that I shed are an expression of my gratitude.
Local children lack school supplies as well as access to public health. A number of indigenous volunteers help remove head lice from these children.
This is the first time that I joined a Tzu Chi activity. I'm quite happy to have this opportunity to help fellow Malaysians.
23 medical personnel tend to local villagers in makeshift tents due to the area's limited resources.
Some of them are local physicians and some are from Western Malaysia who came here. Tima has now been established in Sandakan, and we hope they can become the seeds and develop here.
Before, they didn't have to pay for the food they ate as everything could be found in the forest. But now, if they don't plant crops, they won't have any food.
Actually, they're quite healthy. Some have never visited with a doctor before. They need us to comfort them or provide them with a diagnosis.
Tzu Chi's medical clinic and distribution of school supplies provides compassion and support, allowing this indigenous community to flourish.
That's it for today's program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.